All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are ready for our math lesson today, which is going to be an introduction slash review of rounding. Rounding is one of our most important skills we'll learn in third grade. We'll use it all the time to kind of estimate what problems will be to make sure that our answers make sense, and you will use it a lot in fourth grade. And so it's really important that we get a really good understanding of rounding. And so today, what we're going to be doing is rounding to the nearest 10. Okay, so focus on place value and then figuring out with rounding what number is it close to? What 10 is it close to? And so let's just get started with an example. Let's take a look at the number 32. Okay. One of the things that we can use is a number line. So if I draw a quick number line, don't want to do that yet. I'm going to put my numbers on here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so to get my quick number line there, and I think of where would 32 be on this number line? What tens surround 32? What 2 is it in between if I was counting by 10? So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, which one is 32 in between? Well, right before 32, if I was counting by 10, would be 30. And the next 10 after 30 would be 40. Now, where would 32 be on this number line? Well, this number line is counting by 1, so 35 is going to be right there in the middle. And where would 32 be? Well, 32 is right there. And so really what we're asking ourselves is, which 10 is it closer to? Is it closer to 30 or is it closer to 40? And so the answer to our rounding problem is that 32 to the nearest 10, sometimes you'll see them draw this as an arrow like that, 32 to the nearest 10, well, it's closest to 30. Okay, let's do another one. Let's say we have 67. What is that going to round to? Well, I can use my number line. It's just a strategy to help me picture it. 5. Okay, you're going to notice that the paper you're working on today for your work is going to have a number line on there for you to use and kind of practice and visualize. So what tens is 67 in between? What 10 is right before 67? What 10 is right after 67? Well, if I think about that, I've got 6 in the tens place. So really what I want to do is I just put that 6 over here, and I'm going to take all the ones away. So 60 is right before 67 when I'm counting by tens. And then 10 more gets me my number on the other side. So this would be 70. Now, where would 67 be? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 67 is going to end up right there. And then again, which one is it closer to? Is it closer to 60? Is it closer to 70? Think about it for a second. And I hope you're kind of shouting at the screen that Mr. McDaniel, it goes up to 70, and you would be right. So let's look then at a different number, okay? What if that number was right in the middle? What if I had 45? So if we think about what our number line looks like, and I've got draw my lines. Okay. So where's 45? Well, 45 is right there. And what's it in between? Well, the 10 before 45 is 40. We never change that 10's place. We just bring it down. And then we add 10. 45 is right in the middle. What do I do with it? So our rule in math is that if it's a 5, you're going to go up. If you make it at least to the middle, you get to go on to the next number. And one way to kind of think about this is think about a ball rolling up a hill. Let's think about maybe a roller coaster here. And let's put this as our number line. And let's put 40 over here. Let's put 50 over here. 2, 3. Okay. If I'm in a roller coaster and I draw a little roller coaster cart here, I'm going to put 45 on that roller coaster because that's how far I want to go to. I want you to think about what's going to happen to that cart. If I go to only 41, it rolls back. 42 rolls back. 43 is going to get up there, but then it's going to roll back. 44, almost. But 45, if you can make it to the top of that hill, it's going to keep on going down to the other side. So 45 goes up, and it kind of gets really, really slow because it's, thinking about stopping, but you can't stop at the top of the hill. It's going to keep going over to the other side. And the same with 46. 46 just keeps going, 48, 49, and 50. So all of these numbers over here round back or round, they call it round down, or they stay the same. The tens place is going to stay the same. But once these all go to 40, once I get to that top of the hill, these go over the hill. Okay. So I'm going to write 3 problems down here on my board, and then I want you to pause the video and see if you can figure out the answers, and then come back and check with me. I want you to practice doing, let's put 92. Let's put 59. Let's put 35. And let's put 60. Okay. Pause the video. See if you can figure out the answers to these. And when you're ready, come back and check. Okay, we're going to continue. I hope you are being honest and you actually tried them. 92, what is that close to? Well, think about what 90 is in between. How we talked about the something being 2. Here's a strategy. Let's look at the 9. The 9 is the tens place. Since we're rounding to the nearest 10, I'm going to draw a box around the place that we're rounding to. And then I'm going to look next door at the 2. Now, where is 2 on that roller coaster? 2 is just at the beginning of the hill, so it's going to go up, but then come back to the 9. It's not going to go over the hill up to the next number. So you should have said that 92 goes to 90. What about 59? Let's use that strategy again. Box the 5. Let's look at the 9. So the 5 is either going to stay a 5 or it's going to turn into a 6, depending on what the 9 tells us to do. Well, the 9 is over the hill, right? Up, down, all over here. So that makes it go up to the next number. We round up to 60. Oop, 35. Oh, it's one right in the middle. Box that 3 and the 5 on the roller coaster. The 5 is at the top of the hill. And when we hit that top of the hill, we keep right on going up to the next number. And so we end up with 40. Now 60. 60 is kind of interesting. Box that 6, and there's 0. The roller coaster doesn't move. This number is actually already rounded. I tried to trick you. It goes to 60. Okay. So this is what happens when we're rounding by numbers that only have 2 digits. But what if we have 3 digits? What if I have a number like this? 352. And they're saying round to the nearest 10. Okay, round to the nearest 10. So I've got to know my place value. I've got to know that this is hundreds, this is 10, and this is 1. Hundreds, tens, ones. So if I'm rounding to the nearest 10, I don't really care too much about the hundreds place because I'm rounding to the nearest 10. Don't worry, we'll round to the nearest 100 coming up. But I'm looking at this place right here. Whatever it tells us, nearest 10, that's the number that I want you to put a box around. And then we always look to the number to the right. And that's how far we go on that number line. That's how far we go on that roller coaster. And it tells us what that 5 is going to do. I don't care right now about the 3. So that 5, is that 5 going to stay a 5? Or is it going to turn into a 6? Well, 2, it's pretty low on that hill. It goes up, comes back down. So it stays a 5. Now the 3, we didn't do anything to. So it just gets to come over into the answer. It's still in the 300s. But the 52 is really what we rounded. And 52 is closest to 50. And so that is the answer to the nearest 10. Okay? Do another one like that. Let's do 400. Let's do 425. Let's see what's going to happen with that. Okay. Again, because I'm rounding to the nearest 10, I don't care about the hundreds place right now. I almost ignore it. And I just think of this number being 25. So I draw a box around the 2, and I look next door, and it's a 5. And I remember what to do with a 5. It makes that number go up to turn into the next number. So 25 turns into 30. And then don't forget this number that we were ignoring. We can't ignore it anymore. It has to come over into our answer. Okay, some of you are going to find this to be pretty tricky as we go forward, but keep at it and keep trying. Remember, it's the first day we're kind of learning this idea, and we'll be sure to help you more tomorrow when we come back to school. So let's take a look at a couple of examples I'm going to do here, and I'll let you pause and practice. And, excuse me, let's do 221. And I want to try one more. 999. Just to see what you do with that. Okay, so pause, try them, come back. All right, hopefully you have gotten these problems worked out on your paper that you've been working on. And so we're going to take a look. Let's look here. 794, we're rounding to the nearest 10. So I'm looking at the 10's place, which is the 9. And then I look next door and I think, where's that 4 on the roller coaster? Well, 4 or less, nothing changes. So 0, 4, 3, 2, or 1, that number stays the same. So this 9 is going to stay a 9. The 4 turns into a 0. What about that 7? Oh yeah, that 7 stayed the same. So hopefully you got 790 for that one. Let's look at 221. 221, I'm going to box the 10s, which is the 2's place. The 2, the 10's place. So look next door. Well, 21 is really the number I'm thinking about. That's close to 20. This 2 comes over, and I've got 220 for my answer right there. Of course, I had to throw a trick one at you, right? 999? Well, let's look. Box the 9 and look next door. Well, what's 99 in between? It's in between 90 and 100. So 99 is going to go to 100, but it wouldn't make sense for me to keep that 9 and then put 100 because it's 9,100, and 999 is not close to 9,100. But that 1 instead gets carried over, and 999 to the nearest 10 actually is going to round up to 1,000. So congratulations if you got that problem right. Okay. If you are confused about doing this rounding at all, you're welcome to bring your questions to school tomorrow or message me in the inbox and we can work through them. If you feel like I'm ready to kind of try out some of this on my own, then your assignment link is down below. You're going to click the link, type your name, and then work through the 9 problems that are there for you below. All right. Hey, thanks for following along, working on your rounding to the nearest 10. Tomorrow, we start rounding to the nearest 100. All right. Thanks for working hard.